Welcome to Channel Biometric, your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested about migrating to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell inside, so once we have all the updates and news, you'll be the first one getting all the insight. Today's video is all about international students, obviously study abroad in Australia. We noticed that on the 15th of December 2021, the government of Australia has announced the opening of border, considering that the Omicron variant were actually widespread in Australia. But anyhow, the plan has to go ahead. However, there's so many comments that I received. Obviously, some of our parent buddies and some of the actual international students worry about whether or not they can actually study online. They need to attend the face-to-face classes, and their visa connected to the graduate temp visa, and obviously connected to the potential skill migration visa in the future. Now, the virus has caused a lot of problem, not just the health and safety, but you need to get yourself healthy and safe, and in addition, it caused a lot of international traveling issues. Difficulty arose is that the international students could not actually get on the flight and attend their commencement of course. So how are the actual information that or tactical policy that the government of Australia has actually prepared for international students? That is the detail that we're gonna go through today. Now, obviously, these information are public on the Australian immigration web page. I noticed that a lot of people just cannot find them, or they want to get affirmations from a lot of experts like myself, so you probably will be feeling more comfortable. So let's do it. I'll go into the actual Home Affairs immigration's web page, and we'll go through one at a time. So this is public information that you can actually find. Obviously, all you need to do is you search COVID-19 and the border temporary graduate visa, or again, this is COVID-19 border student visa. You can actually allow utilizing Google. You can actually find Google actually find this web page for you, so you don't have to struggle going through the entire the mega website of Home Affairs in Australia. So utilizing Google search button in search engine, I think that would be a most wise way to do it. Anyway, let's have a look. So let's start from student, and then we will jump to the temporary graduate visa afterwards. So let's read one line at a time, so you will fully understand what has been happened, what are the policies out there, and you can actually find this web page yourself to confirm that as well. So first of all, applying for student visa due to COVID-19, some visa processes have been affected, and the application may take longer to finalize. Obviously, that has caused a lot of problem because I guess some of the graduate students, they are still in bridging visa. The visa hasn't even been granted yet, and they already complete their courses. I think that would trigger a major issue in regards to the further application for the graduate work visa. Anyhow, I think the government understand the problem. So if you are this kind of person, make sure when you submit and apply for the graduate work temporary work visa, 485 visa, you need to put a cover page submissions, detail your background and what had been happened. Otherwise, under the Schedule 1 of regulation, it actually doesn't meet the requirement, but it's caused obviously not by you but by the virus. Okay, here we encourage a student to provide DHA with a complete student visa. Well, that's pretty sure. I mean, if you at this point in time, the incomplete online application cannot even lodge. Anyway, some agents or some people actually do that. I'm not too sure why they do that for, but it's painful when you have visa refusal. I've done so many videos on visa refusals and seeing all these clients and applicants. It's a very painful situation when you have visa refusal. Anyway, let's move on. Student visa fee waiver. Okay, we'll waive visa application fee, allow and submit further student application if you held student visa on or after 1st of February 2020. So that probably cover a lot of people and couldn't complete the course's original visa validity because of the impact of COVID. This includes you defer your courses, you're forced to reduce the part-time study load, because some courses cannot be actually physically and actually commenced. When unable to complete your work-based training or placement, for example, chef, cookery, educators like teachers, they need to go internship, and all the other ones. Okay. These measures are not intended for students who are applying for new student visa. Okay, so new one, sorry, you still need to pay for your visa applications because of ordinary reasons. You must apply student visa, have application fee waived, consider attached complete form 1545 COVID-19 impact students. So you need to get that form to your university or your education provider, and they need to get that signed. Otherwise, you cannot get your fee waived. I've got some student went to their university and request for the form to be signed and get rejected, and we were stunned why they do that. So, but we found out because he is not really being with these three reasons for their defer of his or her study. So make sure you are under these category, or if not, just show the university, look, this is the web page of the Department of Immigration and you should follow this. Just sign the paper so we can have that fee waived. Form 1545 COVID-19 education provider must be satisfied. Well, I'm not too sure how they cannot be satisfied that you held student visa on or after 1st of February 2020, and could not complete your course. Okay, so they need to get that signed. Now, the next one is flexible time frame, additional information for English test, biometric, and health. Now, obviously, for a lot of medical examinations during the pandemic, the clinic is actually closed for safety and health reasons, public health reasons. Obviously, that will cause a delay of visa process and finalization. So we allow extra time for provide English language test result if you are unable to take the test. Look, my experience is that the tests taken are still, I think it's more available compared to the medical examinations. I mean, how do you have no English test and you could apply for a university? I mean, the university wouldn't accept it unless you have shown that you have previously studied other courses in English and it's in higher education sector. So anyhow, immigration does allow that, but I don't think university or institution will actually allow that. And plus, lodging a visa without English test sometimes will actually be not really beneficial for your visa grant and approval. And these are appointment for your medical examination that can be delayed, and the flexible time frame will be used. Existing visa holders. So if you are a student visa holder now, what rights and what things you will have. So we're taking flexible approach to prevent student visa condition be met. You'll not be in breach of student visa condition if you have an approval courses deferral or study online. So they're allowing students to study online. Okay, so that's not a problem there. Due to current workforce shortage, government is temporarily removing a limit of student visas working hour across the sector. So it means you have unlimited time to actually work. Although it does say temporarily, but I think this will go for a while. Okay, this temporary measure is ongoing for students as well as new student arrivals. So they are encouraging, well, you should really focus more on study and get your academic performance up rather than earning some monies, right? But obviously the government of Australia and the nation of Australia needs more workforces, despite there are still politicians out there saying that we don't need overseas skilled workers. And the economy is actually showing no one is actually working out there. So they need more people working. And that also leads to the skill migration in the future. So obviously, as I had estimated and predicted, more of skill migration quota will be allocated in the coming year. and it's actually in the budget anyway. I've done so many videos on this one, so you wanted to check those out. Visa application charge refund of student, providing incentive for student visa holder return to Australia as possible. Current workforce shortage, I'm not too sure. I think government should not have this phrases utilizing international student and with the same sentence talking about workforce shortages. I mean, didn't the government of Australia hate the international student taking all the jobs away from the locals? Anyway, leave a comment right down below. I don't know how you think about this. Anyway, I've been in Australia long enough to tell that Australia does need more people to work there. Anyhow, when the election comes, this is always the topic when they talked about and messing around. Anyway, any student visa holder is currently offshore traveling to Australia between 19th of January, well, that's gotta be today now, and 19th of March, they will refund your money back. So, well, get your visa, come, and then we will pay you back your visa costs. Despite the costs of the flight is actually very expensive nowadays. I mean, should the government actually propose to pay partial of your flight tickets too? What do you think? Leave a comment right down below. When to notify us, or if there's any changes, you notify us. Okay, now going to the temporary graduate visa. Now, this is very important because a lot of people that when they graduated, they need this visa to actually continue to stay in Australia and work and accumulate their work experiences, no matter what occupation they're in. We have changed. They are continuing changing. Okay, online study undertaken outside Australia will count towards Australian study requirement for existing and new student visa holder. Now, this is extremely vital for everyone. Now, we gotta read the sentence right. It says online study undertaken outside Australia will count towards. What about inside Australia? Will still count because you're in Australia anyway. Okay. Australian study requirement for existing and new student visa holders. The important keyword is student visa holders. Now, if you only just apply for a course and you study online and you think you cannot even get into Australia, so you couldn't bother to actually apply for student visa, now that is a totally wrong action or conduct. You need to get your student visa in order to meet that study requirement. Otherwise, if you don't meet that study requirement because you don't hold a visa, although you were studying online or offshore, then you won't meet that requirement. Then you cannot apply for the temporary graduate visa. That's a key thing. So many people ask me the same questions. I mean, the question I throw back to them while studying online is fine. Do you hold a student visa now? If you don't, your study online is deemed not to meet the requirement of the Australian study requirement. Okay, graduates can apply and be granted temporary graduate visa outside Australia, so you can actually apply outside, obviously because there's no flight coming back to Australia. Now, Australia's study requirement, this is actually they basically duplicate what I have just explained in that first sentence, and the reason they are duplicating that is because it's very important and you don't want to get it wrong. So I've seen some education agencies applying for courses for international students, and they basically advise them, you cannot even get to Australia now. Why apply for student visa? Save the money, so don't get the visa. And then they study for a semester and they still haven't got the visa. Well, that's gonna cause a lot of pain because that won't count towards Australian study requirement, which is very important because these phrases, although it's only 3 words, it counts towards 485 visa and it counts towards your skill migration as well. So make sure you have that done. Okay. Flexible time, additional information. So you can take your English test later. Doesn't have to do it straight away before 485 visa large. And obviously health examination as well. There's people waiting for 6 months or things like that. Visa extensions, very exciting. Temporary graduate visa holder who are eligible for replacement of their visa because they were affected by the COVID, they can extend and live into 30th September 2022. So I think this is automatically done by the government of Australia. Eligible visa holder will be notified directly by the department. So I don't think you need to apply for it. Your visa will probably get extended straight away. And this interim measure eligible 45 visa holder to enter or remain in Australia to live and work until they can apply for the grant of replacement. Well, that's great. So your 45 visa will be extended straight away until 30th of September this year. And by then you should enter into Australia and reapply for another 485 visa. I think that's going to be free. And the replacement of the visa will be available. New application from 1st July 2022. There are some rumors they will want to bring that earlier, but let's see what happened, because the problem they want to bring earlier is due to obviously the virus and things and the control. I mean, from July to September, there's only 2 or 3 months. Can they actually cater that amount of 45 visa holders? I'm not too sure. But anyhow, this is for the video today. Hopefully that's very educational. And do you have any comments or questions? More than welcome to leave your information down right there. And I see you next video. Goodbye.